Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Hands off.
And I want to thank you for responding at short notice. I know that there was a very important announcement for the national team today, and we had to try and accommodate your deadlines, in terms of giving space for the national team announcement and also our announcement. The challenge we have is that, we could have done it tomorrow, but there was too much speculations. I got embarrassed yesterday when I went to the soccer zone, program, and one of the studio presenter wanted to ask questions and wanted answers. And at that time I had not yet finalized discussions on a number of things. But before I deal with that, it's also very important that I must indicate that there are a few players that were put on transfer. Some of them have gone on loan, which I must first announce, in terms of, for the squad balance. Joseph Kamwendo is on transfer, Benni McCarthy, also by the discussion between two teams on Spelele, one Celtics, one Marisburg. And Penyo Mungalo also is going on loan. There's discussion between us and Lupaten Celtics. Dennis Basina on transfer, Wilson Chendelani, Tando Mdluli, Siyabonga Zulu, Mzondi Mtombeni going to FCAK, and also Patrick Malokase is going on transfer. So that takes care of the list of the players that are moving on transfer. Coming to the purpose of this press conference today, I must indicate that on Saturday when I was at the ground, by accident I met Benni. We were playing with Hulit, and we had a chit chat, and I went to do what I'm supposed to do as chairman of Orlando Pirates in that competition. But obviously there was a lot of speculation that was developing. And later, I got a call, from Rock. It was late at night that they wanted, to talk to me, and there was a proposed, a meeting with Benni on Sunday, but everything hinges on Rock more, finalizing and discussing with me. And it happened that I had a discussion with Benni, talking about a lot of other issues, talking about his career, talking about, where he comes from. And I must indicate that I was motivated, by the spirit, displayed by Benni, which made the job easy for me to talk to Rob more. Because usually players of this standing, this stature, it's the issues of how big, is your pocket. But Benni, he said, to me, and he told his agent that I'm not there for money, I want to play football. And which was very encouraging for some of us, and to make sure that, we respect and try and help, to protect, the legacy that Benni has developed for himself, for South African football, and for all the football lovers. And when I spoke to Benni, I said to him, one of the reasons I have time to talk to him, that he's got an unbelievable history. He's one of the best exports out of this country after a long time. Therefore, it's going to be very important because I've done it before when I was secretary of Orlando Pirates. When Jomo Sona left, to buy Highlands Park. When I came back as secretary, I said to the team management at the time that it's important that Jomo complete his cycle the proper way. And hence I organized, a testimonial game for him. I was later joined by Kaiser, where he wanted to have, Ace and Sylvester Kone, a teenage data to be part of that, testimonial game, which we played, on the 19th of January at Ellis Park in 1985. And that, testimonial game later became what you now know as a Telcom charity or user charity, because it did not take place, it was supposed to take place continuously. Now again with Benni, I said to him, I remember that he's one of the only players that has scored 4 goals in the African Champions Cup. competition. He's a leading goal scorer. You know, he's one of the few players that have played, you know, as a junior in the under-17, you know, in the under-20 tournament in Malaysia, when in the semi-final, where the last group, you know, to achieve that. He's a player, that's only player that has won the Champions League match. But more importantly, it was when he came in, when the team was 2 goals down, and he played in as if, you know, he was not aware that people are dying or the team is losing. He came in, you know, as if, you know, everything is normal. He went and scored 2 goals, and he assisted the 3rd goal. And that can only be done by somebody who's used to adversity, you know, who's got a fighting spirit, who's got a hunger to achieve things. And I thought, you know, those things, I think, needs to be protected. Because unfortunately, there are things that we overlook, you know, in our lives, which are very important, you know, post-playing days for the record, not only for us, also for himself, but for the community, for the country, for the next generation, or the up-and-coming generation. And that is why, you know, after our discussion with him, I thought it was going to be useful that, you know, we consider the proposal that he can join our team. And I engaged the coach. You know, I made him aware that in confidence this discussion part is subject to finalization, because unfortunately Rob Moore was in New York. There's a difference of time zones, and that's why I could not, you know, late yesterday at about 1:45 is when that, you know, we concluded, you know, our discussion with Rob Moore. You know, we agreed, you know, on the terms, you know, for the player, and hence we wanted to call this press conference. I've just finished with our technical team, you know, which, you know, they are busy upstairs. I've introduced him, of course, to the technical team. They've welcomed him, you know, he has spoken, you know, to the what you call, you know, the technical team, and they already know the training program when it's starting. And but more importantly, you know, it is for me to introduce him to the media, to introduce him to the country, through the media, to the supporters of football of Orlando Pirates. And I want to welcome Benni McCarthy. You know, as a player for Orlando Pirates, you know, we have signed a 2-year contract with him. You know, we hope that, you know, it might be beyond the 2 years, because there's still big football in him. We said that if John Mushewe can play until that age, I don't know what is the age, but for him also, I think, you know, he's got that drive, you know, he's ready, that desire to play beyond that point. So Benni McCarthy, as we speak now, is an Orlando Pirates player. You know, and we'll be introducing his jersey now and the number that he's going to be using as a player, you know, for Orlando Pirates Football Club. And I know that it is a position that is challenging to us, you know, but I guess, you know, with the players that we have, we might be an inspiration in terms of guidance, you know, with the experience he's got. And we are comfortable with the rest of other things. And I think I'll leave it to him, you know, and obviously after that we wait for questions and answers, you know, if ever there's any to answer. So we welcome Benni McCarthy, you know, as a Orlando Pirates player. You're welcome to you. So it's your turn.